Line right there. All right.
Good deal. So here's what we got, guys. Let's first focus on the line. Okay, so the line opened up with the Packers being 7.5-point favorites. It has stayed there. Okay, so the line hasn't moved. The Packers are 7.5-point favorites as it sits right now. Now, when you go to the PFF line, their spread, right, that their analytics comes up with, plus 8.9 for the Packers. Now, it dipped one day in to plus 8.3, and then it drops to a plus 7. I'm sorry, a plus 8 is where it's at now. So it's a full or a half of a point higher than the actual market lines. So the reason I mentioned that is PFF is suggesting take Green Bay minus the 7.5 is essentially what their analytics are saying right now. When you look at what the public is doing right now in the spread, and again, 7.5-point favorites, it looks like 89% of the money. Okay, the overall cash, right? The money itself, the dinero, 89% is on the Packers to cover that spread. 41% of the bets are on the Packers. So you've got more of the slips, right? The individual bets, 59% are on the Browns plus 7.5. 89% of the money is, or the overall money is on the Packers. So it's somewhat of a split, although it's leaning toward the Packers. I don't bet on Packers games. You guys know how I am about that because my emotions will get too involved. And when I bet, I'm looking to make some money. I ain't looking to, it's just the way it is. So when I'm looking at that, if this was not a Packers game, I would feel a little more confident in taking the Packers minus 7.5. However, I'm a sucker for those anything plus 5 or more. Those are the bets I love to go with. I love to let it kick off and go live. And then the other team go up to an early score. Now you're getting like a plus 12 or something, or a plus 10, right? That's when you can really make your hay. So just want to point that out, that it's somewhat split between the tickets and the money, but it's still leaning towards the Packers. I want to get y'all's take on that. How do y'all feel about that spread? Not from a gambling standpoint, would you put money on it or not, but just simply, we know Vegas knows what the heck they're doing. Do we feel pretty good about us being 7.5-point favorites?
As good as you can feel, right? Considering the vibe is we should boat race this team. But if you get into the weeds a little bit, you're right. I see this game probably being the closest one we've played this year for sure. At the end of the day, you're not your record. It doesn't matter. You can look at these, analytics, and you see that QB comparison. You see some of the team metrics, and you're like, oh well, this game's over before it starts. And it's like you got to dig a little deeper. And I think me being a person that's not a sports bettor, looking at these numbers and looking at how the odds makers have it, it does give you some insight. And that being said, I would say we probably win this game by less than 10 points. Yeah, I think the tutter is probably fair.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, you're going up. The battle is our fourth offense going up against their defense, right? And their defense is a strong suit on their team. So it's maybe we get a break. If you want to get over that one touchdown score, you get over double-digit points, probably because our defense made a defensive score or a stop or a fumble or a quick turnover, something like that that sprung us to get those extra points. But it's a battle, and you're right. They make money for a reason. That's why I just stand clear of it too, Tim. I don't want to mess with that. I'm too many numbers to look at right now. I just want to watch a little football.
That's right. The first rule of betting is don't use your heart, use your brain. Right?
Absolutely, man. There's some funny comments I was looking at here. 2-0 for this says, I've lost a lot of money by not gambling. I love it. Jarrell Lee with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate you. He says, watching all 22 on Matthew Golden, the man stays open. Breakout game incoming. Green heart emoji. Could not agree more, Jarrell. And they were, if you turn on the tape and you watch Agent Zero, this dude, it's just a matter of time. If Love hits him on those two passes, he finishes with like 120 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. You understand? Could you imagine if Love doesn't overthrow him on that deep shot? That would have been, what would it have been, a 92-yard touchdown pass to Matthew Golden? Twitter would have broke. Packers Twitter would have broken. I'm just telling you right
Of course,
now.
if you underthrew it, it would have been a pick. So
Right.
I'll take the overthrow.
Absolutely. You're going to miss away from the defense, right? Yeah,
Yep.
completely agree there. Thank you, Jarrell. Appreciate the super chat, buddy. All right, let's look at the team metric. Or actually, let's go back to the money line real quick. This is what worries me, okay? Money line, 99% of the money, the public, is on the Packers to win outright. 98% of the bets are on the Packers. Me no likey that jam, but the spread is more important in terms of truly looking at those numbers. I think the Packers are in a good spot. If they go out there and protect the football, they'll win this game. I believe that. So, all right, team metrics, power ranking. The Packers are now up to 4th according to PFF. The Browns are sitting in the 28th spot. All right, power ranking on defense, it's official. They have the Packers in the number 1 spot in terms of defensive power ranking. Getting some respect. Now, Cleveland, 11th, right? Pretty solid defense. So got to be aware of that. Offensively, they have the Packers offense ranked 8th, and they have the Browns ranked 30th. Strength of schedule played so far, however, you got to tip your cap to the Browns a little bit because they have played, it says the first in terms of strength of schedule. We're 3rd. So we both played some tough opponents right out of the gate, right? Average offensive snaps, they're averaging 76.5 offensive snaps. We're averaging 59, but that's probably because the other team just keeps scoring on them. Right? That would be my guess. So extra possessions there, and probably turnovers too. We haven't even looked at that. Percentage of run plays, they're running the ball only 29% of the time. Joe Flacco, Tim, is passing 70.5% of the time. The Packers are throwing the ball 52.6% of the time. Keep in mind, out of heavy sets, right? So that's by design. That is strategically planned by Matt LaFleur going into these games. There's no doubt about it. EPA per run, we have struggled. Minus 0.13. They've been more effective in the running game at a positive 0.06. EPA per pass, however, we are a positive 0.28. I think Jordan Love was 4th in the league, if I remember correctly from last night. The Browns and Joey Flacco, minus 0.28. So we've got the edge in the passing game. They've got the edge in the running game so far in this young season, only 2 games. However, everything else across the board pretty much favors the Packers all the way down, right? So that run, that EPA per run, Emilio, doesn't make a hill of beans, bub, if they're losing, right? Because they're going to have to wing it all over the yard.
Absolutely, and that's probably why you see. I mean, 70-30. That's like what I'm doing in Dynasty. I'm trying to get my man the Heisman. You know what I mean? So that's. You can't live on that forever. You know what I mean? You got to be able to lean on the run. You got to be able to control the clock, slow down the game. If your defense is out there getting toasted, you got to be able to give them a breather. And it just doesn't seem like they just kind of have that blend there. And you're right. You're down touchdown. You're down 2 touchdowns. You got to try to chase it to come back, and you can't get explosive runs. It's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, Tim, when you look at this quarterback matchup here, man, Jordan Love, 86.7 PFF grade, Joe Flacco, 57.7. Passer rating when clean, 151.7 for Jordan Love. When the pocket is clean, Tim, Joe Flacco's passer rating is an 86.5. Passer rating under pressure, Jordan Love sitting at a 49.8. Flacco is at a 38.9. You know what this tells me when you look at those numbers and just how significantly lower his passer rating in a clean pocket is? I wouldn't worry about dialing up the blitz.
I was just going to say, I wouldn't blitz that, man. Not at all.
Rush 4, you ain't going to worry about him scrambling. Mm-hmm. Reduce. Now you can take that one technique touch spot we talk about. No, let him pin his ears and go to. You know.
Yep, I agree 100%. We know Flacco's not that he was ever super mobile, but definitely I would prefer to keep him in a clean pocket and let our boys handle their business for sure. And then hopefully we see more of the same from this O-line on our side of the ball with Jordan, keeping him clean. And, I would anticipate that after this weekend that his PFF grade is going to go up just a little bit. So,
yeah, I think our walls are going to be all right, Tim. I want to see what the Browns wall, see how that thing holds up, see if we can't find a crack or see if we can't break through that thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You look at the big time throw percentage, Jordan Love, 9.84%. Joe Flacco is sitting at a big goose egg. So he has hit on 0 big time throws. Okay. Turnover worthy plays, however, Jordan Love is at 3.28. Joe Flacco only 2.94. Okay. And then power rating, they've got Jordan Love at a 4.5. They got Joe Flacco at a 1.5. That power rating rank puts Jordan Love 7th best in the league, and it puts Joe Flacco 24th best in the league is how that's sitting. So anything else you guys want to see here before we get into some of the lineup talk? Anything at all?
The over-under of 41.5. Over, under. What are we talking about here?
Man, that's a great one there. So I feel like our defense will probably hold them to less than 20.
I think so too. Definitely.
Feel comfortable about that. So now the question becomes, will the Packers offense score 22 on this defense?
How about 27 for the third week in a row? 27-17, packed by 10.
So I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about the over, Emilio. And let's look at the weather real quick. 67 degrees, just a few clouds, 1 o'clock kickoff. That's a beautiful day for football. I take the over for me.
As long as they don't eat the chili before the game, man, we are good to go.
You not like the chili out there in Cleveland?
No, I don't know. It depends on what kind of beans they put in it. I'll have to double check next time.
I heard it from an expert right there. I promise you.
Around here, we put cheese curds in our chili, man.
Now we're talking, Tim. Now
cheese curds make my stomach hurt all the time, but I do eat them though.
Culver's is bringing back the curd burger. That's en route soon. So you might need to take a little drive down, bud.
I'm going to come down. We need to have us a little lunch meetup, a little game planning session. I've never ate at Culver's, guys. Never happened.
What?
Never have, man. Never have.
Wow.
I know we got a few here in Tennessee. They're just nowhere near me, unfortunately. They're closer to civilization, I believe. But yeah, and as far as the beans down here in Tennessee, we like to put a little bourbon in them, just a little splash. You know what I mean? Just a little.
Okay.
Little whiskey, little bourbon, just strip it in there, and you're good to go. So, by the way, I've been hearing. I need to know in the chat too. We usually don't talk food on this particular program.
I'm sorry, I got us off track.
I'm hearing people say put a little brown sugar in your chili. Y'all do that? Y'all ever heard of that? A little brown sugar, sweeten it up just a touch.
Just sweeten it a touch.
I got to try that this winter. So there you go. Look, double chin is I'm gonna break the double chin back out. We're pulling it out of retirement here real soon, right? All right, let's get into the lineups here. Let's go. It's funny. I always say we need to go 11 personnel against their nickel. We're to the point now where we might want to just start focusing on 12 personnel against base, right? I mean, the way this offense is playing. Let's start at 11, though, right out of the gate. And looking at let's go their offense against our defense, okay? So Flacco, 57.7. They got Quinshawn Judkins is who they got listed here, 67.7. There's that offensive line, Emilio. Jones at left tackle, 33.4. Batonio, assuming he'll play, and again, he's on the injury report, a 78.7. Pretty solid player there. You got Posick, is that how you say it? Pocic, maybe?
Yeah.
He's at a 58.7. Teller, a 74.6. And Conklin at a 50.4 at right tackle if he is starting right tackle. Their tackles are weak. This is going to be a Micah Parsons or Rashawn Gary game, I believe it was.
LVN. How about we get a little bit of LVN talk? I would be totally fine. A little rotation, get Kingsley in there. Oh, come on now. If Barron Sorrell gets another sack, I'm telling you.
Yeah. I would think they're going to try and run through their tackles or run between their guards, though. They're probably not going to try and run off the edge very much.
Yeah, I think they flipped their offensive line, right, Tim? Normally you try to get a solid center and 2 solid tackles. They were like, screw it. We don't need the tackles. Yep. We're going to get
all interior, baby. And they got that rookie tight end out there, too. We'll take that.
Yeah,
and he is more of a receiving tight end than a blocker. So,
yep. And then we got Mr. Overrated himself, Jerry Jeudy, out there on the boundary. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Remember when Packer fans were screaming to trade for him? Oh my gosh. So you got Jeudy, a 56.0. You got Thrash in the slot at a 57.2, and Tillman on the opposite side in the Z at a 57.3. They got Harold Fanning Jr., rookie, 59.2. So he's flirting with that 60 mark. You know, we were pretty high on Fanning Jr. coming out of the draft there. So that's how their offense stacks up. Now, when you look at our defense, we talked about it already earlier in the week, but we'll hit on it briefly. Micah Parsons, 89.8 PFF grade. Rashawn Gary's sitting at a 63.9. However, he is third in the league in sacks right now with 2.5 sacks. Devontae Wyatt, man, what a pleasant surprise, 76.2. And then you got Carl Brooks, again, like we had predicted in the preseason, he will be your one tech this year, starting off at 49.7. I'm telling you guys, PFF, they don't know whether to crap or go blind, so they close one eye and fart. They don't understand that touch spot of the one tech, man. I'm just telling you right now, they don't. And they just look at that and go, well, he didn't do his job. Give him a negative mark. and we're over here. Watch Carl Brooks blow up this game. That would be absolutely awesome. If the one
yeah.
tech started to eat all of a sudden because we're not worried about the quarterback scrambling, that would be phenomenal.
Yep.
At the midline here, at the linebacker position, stack backer, you got Edgerrin Cooper, 69.1, Quay Walker, 61.4. And then, of course, in the cornerback matchups here, if Nate Hobbs is healthy, 71.3. You got Bullard in the slot at a 51.1, and we got Keyshawn Nixon. Anybody have that on their bingo card for him to be the highest graded corner in the league 2 weeks into the season at 85.2? How cool is that, man?
Dog. Absolutely.
I think we need to clip. Tim, don't we need to clip that man when he said, I want to be that number one corner, and just go ahead and plop it right next to the PFF grade and call it a day?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man. I don't think any of us would say 2 weeks into the season we'd had this on our bingo card, but I do think that we were all keeping an eye on Keyshawn throughout this, off-season program and the preseason. And you could tell that, he's one of those guys, man. I really respect the players that talk the talk and then they walk it. It's one. A lot of guys are just chirp, chirp, chirp. They don't back it up. Keyshawn's a guy that's gonna be confident and he's gonna do what he says. And so far he has. And I can't wait to see him pushing 90s on the PFF grade. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. As Kieran in the chat says, K9 is balling. Again, Tim pointed out, we kept hearing out of camp he was having a great camp.
Yep.
You know me, I'm kind of skeptical. I'm like, all right, man, let's see what happens when the bullets start flying. And boy, oh boy, he shut me the heck up.
Keyshawn was the first one on the field and the last one to leave.
I remember you saying that at camp. Yep. Yeah, I remember you
every day. And it was contagious because we started to see other guys kind of joining in. You started to see more players out there early and staying late. So, big shout out to Keyshawn, man. Not only getting it done on the field, but really kind of quiet as kept, kind of stepping up as another one of these leaders in this secondary for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And then we look at the safety position. Xavier McKinney is got a 53.0. Keep in mind, too, how many times have you seen him targeted this year, right?
I was just going to say that. I mean, yeah, his grade's probably not great, but how many times have we even heard his name called on the broadcast or anything?
Right. Yeah, you could tell that offenses are staying the heck away from him, and I'm sure what they're grading is his coverage and his technique and how close was he? Did this guy technically get open, whether he caught the ball or not, right? But Evan Williams is grading out pretty good at 84.4 so far. Evan Williams is an exciting young player, man. I love watching him in the box. He's a spark plug too, man. He gets his defense fired up. It's just so cool having him. Do you want to see the future of this defense, guys? It's right here. It's Williams, Cooper, and Wyatt. And you're going, what about Parsons? Parsons will be here at least 3 years, possibly 5, right? We know that. Gary, you guys know how I feel about Gary. Solid, I'm telling you. But that right there is the future. We're going to look up in 5 to 6 years, and Evan Williams is going to be a staple in this defense. Edgerrin Cooper is going to be anchor in the middle, and Devontae Wyatt, I think, will still be your 3-tech.
And who's going to take McKinney's spot once he's ready to nod off is our boy Home Depot is going to slide right into position up there and hold it down.
I love it. And future drafts too, man. That's the other thing. That's what's so exciting about football, and specifically this time of the year. We know that in 3 years, actually this April, there's going to be other Evan Williamses, other Edgerrin Coopers we're going to be so excited about.
Yep.
I'm already looking forward to the draft. I just love the draft time. It's such a fun time to be a Packer fan. All right, let's move it along here. We'll try to go a little bit quicker. We're going to try to have a little bit easier show tonight, or quicker show, I should say. Let's go now with their defense against our 11 personnel. Okay, so here's what we got. Jordan Love, we talked about, 86.7, fourth highest graded quarterback in the league. Josh Jacobs, 62.6. Again, people loading the box. There has been nowhere for Josh Jacobs to run to this point. That's if you were to ask me what's a weak spot for this Packers right now, the run blocking on the offensive line has been non-existent to this point, in my opinion. Just looking at the tape, there's not a whole lot of running lanes there. But what's LaFleur doing? He's passing out of these heavy sets, right? And the pass blocking been pretty darn good, in my opinion. So offensive line against their defensive line, we talked about this, right? There is the guy that PFF is suggesting will be the edge opposite of Myles Garrett. Joe Tryon Shoyinka? Is that how you'd say that, Tim?
I would say that was pretty good, Clay.
Hey, you know how we roll. 50, 67, 63, 53, 58. Not worried about it. However, opposite of Myles Garrett, right? You've got Collins at defensive tackle. So you got Malik Collins at a 90.4. Again, 2 games, right? Look at his career grades. 44, 48, 60, 64, 39, 64, 65, 60, 57. And then, one of these don't belong, right? I think we know which one it is.
And he's the one on rest right now on the injury report, right?
Yeah.
Cue up the off right tackle runs, baby. Let's go.
Hey, there you go, right? And don't be afraid to roll out. And here's the thing, too. I don't know how much they move Myles Garrett around. I do know they love to run stunts with him. And what they like to do, guys, is they like to bring him from a 7 to a 5 tech, and loop him all the way around to the opposite A to B is what they like to do, okay? So if you can see my cursor, imagine him lining up here, right? When the ball snapped, these guys will crash left, and Myles Garrett will start to engage, and he'll come all the way back around in between the A to B gap. That's something that they're going to have to look for on tape. But Jordan been getting the ball out pretty well, and I love the chances of Elgton Jenkins handling that stunt back to the inside. You know what I mean? So not feeling too concerned about that. But the Tuesday player, as we say, it's Myles Garrett. There's no two ways about it. Now, their linebacker position was looking pretty solid, right? You got Swisinger. Is he a rookie this year, or was he a rookie last year?
He is. He was on our radar. Yep.
Yeah, starting off strong, 82.2. That is phenomenal. And then they got Bush at a 91.3. That's Devin Bush. You see his career PFF grade 62, 59, 34, 58, 57. Last year, 79. This year, starting off even stronger with a 91. So pretty solid player there to look out for. Their safeties don't look too bad as well. Hickman Jr., you've got at a 71.9. You've got Delpit at a 79.6. You've got, I think that's Charvarius. No, it's Denzel Ward. Denzel Ward is grading out right now to 52.3. However, his PFF grades have been a lot more solid throughout his career.
Get Matthew Golden an apron and a chef's hat because Denzel Ward is about to get cooked. Holy cow.
I love that.
And then you got Newsome. Many people have been talking about, should the Packers go get him? His PFF grade 68, 69, 66, 52, 69. So a 69.9 on this young year here. So the corners don't concern me. The stack backer position pretty solid there. So this might be a game where you do go to more 11 personnel and attack outside. What I'd like to see is you've got a two-game saturation of 12 and 13 personnel, right? We've talked about it. Why don't we go like 70% 11 personnel and watch it open up for the run game, and maybe open up with some play action or some RPO action with some bubble screens, some smoke screens on the outside. Take advantage of that outside if these linebackers are truly trying to key in on Josh Jacobs. There's going to come a point, though, guys, where these defenses go, okay, their running game ain't got it going. Let's really play the pass, and that's going to open things up for Josh Jacobs. I believe that. So.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, and Carson Schlesinger, we had him 48-9 on the board. He was a captain, had the hard eyes. So, I mean, we did like him, and he was their first or second round pick. So I'm, proud of the dude for doing well his rookie year. You got a big job there to step in as a stack backer. But I do want to get Jacobs going. Maybe you're right, Clay. Maybe it's because we've been in this 13 kind of nasty. Maybe we need to spread it out, get a little bit wider, give him just a couple of lanes, find a spot between the slot or something.
Bottom line, stay committed to it like we have been.
Yeah.
Even if it's nothing fancy, your run game, Josh Jacobs doesn't need 140 yards and 3 touchdowns every game to be effective for us. As long as we stick with it and don't get away with it, I'm perfectly okay with another 80-yard performance and move the sticks. Absolutely. Keep that defense honest, man, and let's go win a ball game.
Yeah, you can't hide that, right, Tim? When we're at 49% and 52 or whatever, 49 and 51 for run pass, that's how you're sticking to it. You can see that the Browns can't stick to that because they're behind or whatever, but hey, you have to stay consistent.
I will tell you, consistently on tape, we have definitely been running the damn ball on first down these first couple of weeks. So I would not be surprised at all if old Tupac LaFleur busted out a play action shot play on one of these first downs just to catch that overly aggressive defense slipping,
Yeah, for sure. Could be a lot of fun, man. Get another piece of the puzzle this week. And it's Wednesday, so tomorrow we'll get another day of injury report that'll come out, and we'll get a little bit better idea of whether Tom's going to play. I don't know. Tell me how you guys feel as we get ready to wrap up. I feel like Zach Tom is probably not going to play. I don't get that. Now, Aaron Banks sounds like they're not going to be able to keep him off the field. And I think he does need to get out there and get some meaningful reps, especially against these next two opponents that could potentially, it could prove to be beneficial, right? Like you've got you're at Cleveland, and then you go down to Dallas. Listen, Dallas can put up some points, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the thing. Now their defense is bad. However, when you got an offense that can just go out there and put up anywhere from 30 to 40 points, we're going to see how good Dallas's offense is against the Packers defense next week.
That'll be a real good test for us because Dak's going to want to spin it. He's going to want to push it. Got wide receivers you can pass to. Got CD, all that. So that'll be a good test for this defense. I think you can't look too far ahead though, right? We got to get through the Browns. But Sunday night in Jerry World, that'll be a battle.
Yeah. It'll be a lot of fun, man. And I'm throwing around the idea, guys. We got great feedback when we went live during the Bears-Lions game. I mean, I'm still getting emails and stuff. People were like, man, that was awesome. My favorite was there was a couple of different people that said, I actually put your live stream on in the background on my phone while I was at work, and you kept me up to date on everything that was going on in the league because we kept going around the league giving score updates and stuff. If I didn't have so much to do during the Packers game, I'm really thinking about going live, but I think the majority of that broadcast would just be me sitting here. This is what you'd see, me writing the whole time. That's what you'd see the whole time. Probably pretty boring for the viewers, but it was a blast, though. We had a really, really good time. So doing that. Maybe we can do that on Sunday again when they play the Cowboys leading up to the Packers-Cowboys game. That might be the way to do it. Just go right into the pregame show type thing,
Yeah.
So, but, all right, boys, y'all got anything else you want to hit on before we wrap up here? Anything at all?
Just finishing up the thoughts on Zach Tom there. I'm with you, man. I think you hold him out. Like he said, we'll see how he feels tomorrow. The way he was moving today, man, I don't see a dramatic change happening overnight. It almost makes you wonder the more he does, is it hurting him? So if we could hold him out and then, maybe get him back for Dallas, that'd be great. Or like you said, hold him out through the bye week, give him 3 full weeks of rest and be ready to go for the Bengals.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So let's look real quick here. The Browns defense, all right, their passing defense, they are a positive 0.14. I don't know where that puts them. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, definitely in the bottom half of the league, right? It looks like, or right at the halfway point or the bottom half of the league in EPA per drop back. Now, what do they do the most? Cover one man, guys. They run cover one man 46% of the time. This will be the third straight opponent that's cover one man heavy. We might come out and wing that thing around again.
Yeah.
See it happen.
You might have to if they're that stout against the run. Like I said, you got to mix your run game in. You got to have a run game to win ball games. But I wouldn't be surprised if we went a little pass heavy just to get points on the board.
And again, one of the things that you like to do against man coverage, especially cover one man, which they're running 46% of the time, is you like to run those crossers. Now, what have we done week 1 and week 2? We've ran a concept where it's cross corner, right? Yeah. So don't be surprised if we actually run the crossers now, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to be looking for that cross corner now. And maybe it is a choice route too. That might be baked into the equation.
How about a slot corner from Tay Wicks? Let's go.
It might be one of those things that the receivers would have ran crossers on that play if the defense had showed different leverage, right? And that's why they turn it into a cross corner. So if they try to bite outside, continue to run the crossers there. So
and thinking about go ahead, Clay. My bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was just saying, looking at those numbers for Jordan under pressure, they still are running 5% zero man. So I mean that would be them coming with the house. Yeah. You're bringing everybody and you're just manning up on all eligible. So maybe they think, hey, if we can get a little pressure on them, maybe we can make this work. I think you got to have your hot route. You got to be ready to go, or bring in the back, pick up the blitz. Just things you got to consider. But yeah, you got three teams that you played back to back to back that like cover one man. Matt knows how to scheme it.
Oh yeah, we've seen it, right? You want to play middle field close with man? We're gonna light that boundary up all damn day long on you.
Yeah, we can throw Malik Heath out there and put his toes down.
That's right. Let's go. Toe drag swag. Let's go.
I'm such a closet Malik Heath fan, dude. I get worse when I see 18 out there. I'm like, that dude is a dog. Like he'll what we call him water cooler for a while, right? He'll block you to the water cooler. I remember the catch he made against the Giants that should have been the game winner, right? Yep. If we hadn't came out and played man coverage, bump and run on the final drive, gave the fans what they wanted. But that, Malik Heath is, and they've just done a good job putting this wide receiver room together. They really have, man. So, all right, that's it, guys. that's your little mini preview. And again, we're not done previewing this game. We'll continue to hit on it as we get a little later in the week, obviously. So we'll be back tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Central Time for PTA Live. We'll also have an updated injury report. We'll probably dive a little bit deeper into the team statistic rankings. I want to tell you where the Packers are ranked in passing or yards per pass attempt, running yards, rushing yards per carry, essentially. Yards per play, just overall offensive metric, points per play, scoring, and the same thing on defense as well as the turnovers, things like that, and kind of give you an idea of where the Browns are stacking up there as well. Because I feel like the Packers are about to have a flurry of turnovers. I feel like it could happen any second now.
Yep.
And you could tell that teams are really trying to protect the football when they go up against the Packers now for sure. Nick McSwain in the chat said, y'all hit that like button if you haven't already. Thank you for that, Nick. Appreciate you, buddy.
He had said earlier about jet sweeps. I was thinking about that. He was saying, first down jet sweeps or whatever. But Matthew Golden's been getting those now, kind of like how Christian got them early in his game, in his time with the Packers until he started branching out, and then you have your breakout game. So you can't let the dude get cold, right? You want to kind of keep him involved. You got to make sure he can get his touches. Kind of leading. It seemed it's similar to Christian, I guess, is how I kind of saw it earlier.
Yeah.
No,
Definitely. That's a good point. Yeah.
I'd like to see them try and get Matt Golden the ball a little quicker in the progression, right? Like every route he runs doesn't have to be a 9. I mean, let's get him that ball early and let him be dynamic after the catch,
What we just talked about, man, if you come out in 11 personnel and you run a smoke screen or a bubble, do it to Golden.
Yeah,
that dude could be electric with the ball in his hand and lead blockers.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Hardy the Prophet gifting 5 Packer Fan Total Access memberships. Thank you so much for that, Hardy. We appreciate you, buddy. That's 5 lucky listeners who will be entered into the autographed Matthew Golden rookie card giveaway this week. And shout out to Dave Colvin. I'm going to be sending out this autographed Lucas Van Ness rookie card to him. We got a Romeo Dobbs autographed jersey going to be going out real soon. That'll be coming up, but we might do that for the post game this week.
Nice.
Actually, the Matthew Golden's on deck. It'll be next week. Next week we'll do the Romeo Dobbs giveaway for sure. So, yeah.
Love it.
All right. That's it, guys. And again, that's just a way for us to give back to those who are supporting the channel. If you're a member on YouTube, or what I suggest is be a member on Patreon, patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. You get extra content, and it's just a way you can support the channel and also win some cool prizes, stuff like that.
And appreciate the fans and everybody supporting the channel out there. We were, at 4,000 pre-draft, or just shy of 4,000. We're over 6,000 now. That was going into the off season, into the quote unquote dead time. So just appreciate everybody, getting that message out there, supporting us.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're 7 subs away from 6,100 actually. So
crazy.
Go.
Yeah. And again, it's not has nothing to do with us. It's everything to do with the community that you guys are creating in the chat. I love that everybody gets along in the chat too. If we get a turd in there every now and again, they're gone, right? We don't even play with that. So just love the community that we've created here for sure. So boys, appreciate your time. Let's get out of here early tonight. What do you think?
Sounds good, man.
We'll
be more prep for tomorrow, right?
I'm gonna be a married man tonight. All right, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play. Might go test out Golden's new haircut and see how it goes. Yeah.
There you go. He's gonna be a little bit quicker on Madden now. That. What is it? Dion said, "You look good, you play good. You play good, they pay good." Right?
That's right.
You look good, you feel good.
See,
you feel good, you play good. You play good, they pay good. There you go.
That's right.
Which, by the way, I seen a video the other day. See, I'm gonna get divorced now. I seen a video the other day. I didn't realize this, but when Michael Irvin broke his neck, Michael Irvin was telling this story too, that he was kind of looked up off the ground or whatever, and he seen Dion was walking around in a circle, waving his arms and praying out loud and everything. I thought, I grew up hating Dion because everybody liked to hate on the Cowboys in the 90s. And I know he made mistakes and he's arrogant, and I got you on that, but you look back, man, he's been a pretty solid dude, I think. Prime. I don't know how y'all feel about him. I know it seems like people either love him or hate him, but hated him when he had that star on his helmet. I know he can be cocky with the media and stuff, but I seen that and I just maybe the signs were always there, and I just went la 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 la. Don't like him. But you can tell his players do love him.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, man, he's a football player, and he's gonna put football players first and foremost. Whether that's guys he's coaching, guys that he played with, guys that are in the game now. They call him Unc, right? That's big Unc to all the young kids out there. And he's just another one of these kind of OG guys that's a face of leadership, really, regardless of where you're at in the game. So I think you could probably accuse Deion of a lot of things, but not caring about his players, not caring about the game, not being a God-fearing dude. Those are things you can't accuse him for. So I think you're right. I think our Packers bias might have skewed the rankings when it came to Deion, because you can't argue with the output on the field. That's for certain. And then, feel how you want to feel. But I think at the end of the day, he's a football guy, man, and loves this game, loves the players.
Yeah, 2 over this says he backed up his talk. I respect that. J. Cole says Deion is flawed like any human.
Amen.
Deion probably way less flawed than this guy's talking right now, I promise you. So, yeah, Ben Holden said, I did a lot of praying over the last couple of weeks. Me too, Ben. I relate to that, buddy. I relate to that big time, man.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, let's get out of here. Appreciate everybody. You guys are awesome in the chat. Hit that like for us. Hit subscribe. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Bye. Somebody give me the weird Jacob wave, please.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.